Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to a brand new mod spotlight for a new work in progress mod. It's got a couple cool things added already and there's some really neat future stuff planned. So I want to start showing you guys all about BetterStorage. BetterStorage is made by Copyboy. You can check out the forum link in the description of this video to download the mod. It's a pretty straightforward mod, but it adds a lot of cool different things that are really neat. So without further ado, I want to start showing you guys all about BetterStorage and some of the new blocks and items it adds to store your stuff. Alright, let's check it out. Alright guys, one of the first items I want to show you are called storage crates. Storage crates are crafted with just 4 pieces of wood and 4 sticks. You can place them on the ground like so. And the cool thing about these is every time you place one on the ground, it'll kind of fill up this thing. So let's get like a bunch of items here. We kind of just fill up and do whatever we can with. So I'm just grabbing all kinds of stuff, you know, whatever we want, just to toss in there and check out. Pretty cool. Alright, and you can see it's got this nifty little progress bar on the top that shows how full the inventory is getting. Not bad at all. Now once it's filled up, of course, it gets all the way up there and you can't fill anything in, just like a chest you might expect. Now also like chests, you can place 2 next to each other to expand the inventory. Oh cool, and now the progress bar is a little bit smaller. Now unlike regular chests, you can continue adding on to this. So I can go ahead and place 2 more back here, and now we've got even more storage space. Now these crates are, once you get them pretty large, a little bit funny about the user interface. They're kind of a mess. They're going to only show you a random selection of items. It's not always going to show you the same item. So you can see every time I open up the interface here, we're getting different items in different orders. Of course, it's pretty much always the same items, but you'll only ever see a double chest's worth of items. So you know, this chest and storage can grow pretty large, but you won't be able to always interface and get everything right away. So the more stuff you store, the crazier it gets. Now the other thing is you have to kind of build these guys in a square or a cube pattern. It doesn't want to let you build them much larger than that. So once you've got a nice little cube pattern here, you can go ahead and build larger. So you just got to keep that in mind. Cool. So it's a pretty neat idea, and of course the more crates you stack together, the larger your inventory. Look, we've got barely any amount of storage taken up by all these blocks already, just because we keep adding on crates, which keeps adding on more and more storage. Cool. Now the other neat little thing this adds is an item called lockers. Now lockers are kind of like chests, except when you place them on the ground, oh cool, look at that. They kind of open front ways instead of off the top, so they're not like chests. And like chests, they can be placed next to each other to make a double chest, but instead of being placed on left and right, you can place them lengthwise tall. So it's just like a chest where you can't, you can't keep growing it this way. That won't work. So you can go like that. You can see how it doesn't add on and become like a triple chest or anything like that, but you can go ahead and stack them like so, and they open up sideways like that. So there's like a slightly different style of chest. Pretty cool stuff. The other thing you can store is armor. The armor stand is crafted like so. Just go ahead and place it on the ground like that. Now, if you have a piece of armor in your hand, so for example, let's say we had some golden armor in our hands right here like this, you could go ahead and just walk up to this little area here and just right click, and any item that's in your hand will be stored there. Now, of course, the boots don't go up on the top, they actually go on the bottom, and the helmet goes up on the very top, and the armor goes in the middle there. Cool. The other thing you can do is shift right click and it'll swap whatever you're currently wearing with the item on the stand. So I can just switch into my gold armor nice and easily like that, or switch back and forth. Pretty awesome stuff. So shift right click to swap with what you're currently wearing, and go ahead and just right click with whatever's in your hand to store it. And if you want to just take your armor off, just shift right click onto an empty stand like that. Nice. Now finally, here comes the biggest and what my opinion is one of the cooler parts of this mod. It's something a little different than anything we've seen before. These are called reinforced chests, and you can check out the recipe for them. It just requires some wood and a chest, a block of iron, and some iron. You can also make them with gold and diamonds and emeralds, and if you have a mod that supports copper, tin, or silver, or zinc, you can do the same. So right now I don't have any mods installed that do that, but it's pretty much the same concept. There is no difference between the chests except for how they look. So it's not like, I made a diamond reinforced chest and it's huge. It's not like, the iron chests mod. So you can go ahead and just get yourself a bunch of these chests, and they all look pretty nice sitting next to each other. How cool. I like the way they look, actually. They're really nice. I'll even throw down a couple other ones here for you. Now, these guys are awesome looking, and they're also a little resistant to explosion. So let's run off into the distance here, and I'll show you guys how resistant to explosion these things are. I'm going to get myself some creeper eggs. Now, reinforced chests are not completely resistant to explosion. If you threw some TNT next to it, it would probably still be a problem. But creepers, they don't care. Not a problem. Hooray! Yeah, doesn't have a problem dealing with creepers, reinforced chests. They're also a little bit larger than your, other chests, but they're pretty awesome. I like them. And you can also make double chests out of them, so large reinforced chests work just the same. Nice. Now, the thing that makes these guys unique is the lock and key system. So I'm going to go over and switch back to my BetterStorage mod list here, and you can see that there's actually items called keys and locks. Okay, why don't I show you guys how to craft them and what they do. So here's the deal with the lock and key system. It's actually really pretty neat. I like it a lot. The recipe here for the key is just gold in the middle and golden nuggets on the side there. Okay, real simple, not a big deal. Now you'll note that the key, once you place it in your inventory, goes ahead and gets a damage value assigned to it. In this case, the item ID is 28540. Which we can see here. And once the key is crafted, it's assigned a unique number. It's pretty random. It's relatively possible that you could create two keys with the same ID, but it's super, super unlikely. But yes, it's pretty much a random number. So again, once you've crafted your key, you'll see 12052, and here's another one, 7939. Now, those keys can correspond to a lock. So I'm going to take the lock from 12052 and 3574. Check it out. If you want to make a lock that's tied to this key, all you got to do is craft it like so. Go ahead and place the key in the middle slot as you craft your lock. There we go. Now we've got a lock that is matched to this key. Let's go ahead and craft it. And what's going to happen is this key can now open this lock. Look, the damage values are the same. Cool. Now if we put this lock on the chest, so let's put it on our iron chest here, for example. Note that now we can't open that chest. Also, we can't use this key to open the chest. Not working. However, if we use the correct key, ta-da, the chest is open and we can store things. Hooray! So you have to right-click on your locked chest with a key in order to open it properly. Cool? Now, if you want, you can color your keys a little bit. So let's go ahead and craft another one here, just like this. If you want to, you could color your key. Let's demonstrate that by just putting some dye in the crafting table. And you'll see that you get this like blue little stripe on it. Pretty neat, right? And you can do the same with green or kind of any color. And you can actually combine colors. So if I put some red and some blue there, you'll see it kind of combines to make a little bit of a purple type color. Pretty awesome. So you can combine your colors and just identify your different keys in different ways. If you want to copy an existing key, it's really not that bad. So again, we've got the 12052 key here. Simply place that in the crafting table on the bottom left while you're crafting, and you'll see that you get the exact same damage value in the output table. So now you've got two keys, both of which can open up the same lock. So long story short, the key has to match the lock in order for the chest to open. Again, using the wrong key doesn't work, and not using a key doesn't work. Finally, you've got one more aesthetic choice with your keys. You can actually use an iron, piece of iron in there, and it'll kind of wrap the key in iron, and it gives you an iron key. No technical difference. So there's no difference between an iron key and a gold key, aside from the fact that it looks different, and it's easier to identify. So if you have a couple different chests and you want to remember which key is for which, you can go ahead and make one iron and one gold, or one. You can also wrap these with colors. So you can see here you've got a purple iron key. Pretty cool, right? So yeah, awesome stuff right there. And the same deal, of course, if you want to go ahead and duplicate your key, you can duplicate it by putting the existing key here, and the key is not used during this process. So again, this iron key will open the chest just like you saw. Now, the fun does not end there, because, get ready for this, you can enchant both keys and locks. Why would you enchant them, you say? Well, because you get to do some really cool stuff. Let's make a lock and key system here and see what we can do with them. Now for demonstration purposes, I've got, the 12052 keys here. I've got 2 of them, and I've got one that's the 3574. So that's the wrong key for the chest that we've already locked, right? So let's go ahead and make an iron key that matches that number, okay? So let's just demonstrate real quick to prove to you guys you cannot open this chest using this key. Well, let's say that you were a, little bit of a sneaky player. You want to sneak into someone's base and steal some items, but their chest is locked. How can you help with that? Well, go ahead and enchant your key. You can get almost, I think most of these you can get up to level 5. So I'm going to go ahead and show you down here that there are several key-specific enchants that you can put on here. The first one I'm going to show you is called Lockpicking. Okay, there it is. Cool. Lockpicking 5. What this does is it allows you to open or unlock a locked chest once, and then it decreases the enchantment level. So, right-click with the wrong key and the chest is open. But you'll note now that it's gone down to Lockpicking 4. Oh, look at that. Pretty cool. Now it's Lockpicking 4. If I try and use it on the chest again, it's going to drop down to Lockpicking 3. And again goes down to 2, 1, and out. No longer can this key be used to open a chest that it doesn't belong to. Now the next thing we can do with this is an enchant called Morphing. Now just like the normal enchanting system, you have to go throw in an enchanting table and hope to get lucky and get the right one. But I'm showing you guys the different features here. So remember, I'm using NEI to cheat this in. But Morphing, what's that do? Well, remember this key did not fit in this lock, right? Okay, and let's also check the damage value, 3574. What happens when I right-click on this lock with a Morphing key? Ta-da! It's opened! Hooray! What's the difference? Well, it actually morphed the key. Look at the damage value now. It's 12052. This key now will always open this chest. Cool. No longer having a problem opening the chest. So that's what the Morphing enchant does, is it now will always open that chest for you, which is actually a really good thing. Imagine that you had a player who had like the same lock on all his chests. Well, you use the Morphing enchant, you morph the key to match one of the locks, and now it can open all of them. Haha. So, if you're a player, consider if you want to have different keys for different chests, or the same one for all, because morphing might get you into trouble. I'm making a new key, 3574, remember the wrong kind. It won't open the chest. What's the next enchant I want to show you? Well, this one's actually a little different from lockpicking, which is guaranteed to open once, and morphing, which changes the key type. Let's go ahead and show you guys the unlocking recipe, okay? Now, this guy, unlocking, I'm going to go ahead and put level 5 on it. So let's see, where's unlocking? There it is. Cool. Unlocking 5 increases the likelihood that this lock can work on this lock here. So the key will have a better chance of being able to open the lock. Basically, there's a very low chance that 2 keys will match. They have to have the exact same number. But once you put the unlocking enchant on, unlocking 1 gives you about a 12% chance that the key will be able to unlock the chest. And unlocking 2 gives you about a 25% chance. And it goes up from there. I think level 4 and 5 both give you a 100% chance to open the chest. So we should be able to open the chest now. So because we've got unlocking 5 on our key, that key is enchanted and can open any chest regardless of what lock is on it. How cool is that? I should also, while I'm here, note to you, you can shift right click to take the lock off of a chest. Neat, right? Pretty cool. So there's the trick, right? You can use unlocking to unlock any chest. But Direwolf, that's completely insecure. Why would you allow something like that? Well, remember guys, you can also enchant your locks. So here we are, we have this lock, again, matches the 12052 damage value, okay? I'm going to go ahead and enchant this lock, okay? There's a couple different enchants you can get. The first one I want to show you is security, because security is basically going to override all the previous things I just showed you. I'm going to go ahead and put security level 5 on this lock. Ta-da! Now, when I go ahead and place the lock on there, okay, 12052 still opens up the chest, just like before. However, if I were to, for example, try and put the wrong key on, so let's get another wrong key, and I'm going to try and use this key, and let's give it an enchant. Let's give it level 5 of the lockpicking ability, okay? Will this work now? Nope. That's because the basic rule of security locks is that a higher number wins. So if you've got security 3 and you've got lockpicking 4, lockpicking will work. But if you've got security 4 and lockpicking 4, then the security will win. So basically you have to have a higher level enchant on your key than is on the lock in order for things to work. So let's take this guy off here and just demonstrate, okay? I'm going to drop this down to level 3 security. So let's go find the security again. Okay, and we're going to make it level 3 security on this lock, okay? And I'm going to put it back on the chest. Now remember, this guy has lockpicking 5. So 5 is higher than 3. It's going to be able to open it up. But remember, with lockpicking, it loses a level every time you use it. Now it's 4, and that's a higher number than the security, so again, it's going to work. But lockpicking 3 won't work. That's because the security on the chest is better than what the key has. Pretty cool, right? And it's the same way with the unlocking and the morphing skills. So if you happen to get like an unlocking 4, you can go use it on anything that's security level 1, 2, or 3. But security level 4 and 5 will be immune. So basically, if you get security 5, your chest is pretty much secure. Okay? So that's the deal with the security enchant. Now, there's a couple other cool enchants that I think you guys might like checking out. I'm going to leave security 3 on there, and I'm going to go ahead and put level 5 of, you ready for this? Dun dun dun. I'm going to give it, let's make it level 3 of shock. Level 3 is actually the highest level of shock that you can get legitimately, so that's why I went with that. What's shock do? Well, it's a pretty neat little system. Let's go ahead and try and open the lock with the key that it works with. No problem. If I try and open the lock with the wrong key, ouch! Hey, lit me on fire. So shock basically adds a shock to this little lock. Ha ha ha. That rhymed by accident. So yes, if you try and open the lock with the wrong key, and it also does this if you open it with, let's go ahead and heal myself up here. If you try and open it, if you don't have any key at all, same thing. So you can enchant your locks with the shock enchant, and if a player tries to open the chest and is unsuccessful, he takes a decent amount of damage. One more enchant to show you guys after persistence, that is. Persistence, level 5. What this guy does is it increases the amount of time it takes to break a chest, and it increases its resistance to explosions. So go ahead and throw that guy on there. When it's got the persistence on the lock, it just makes it that much harder to break. It takes a very, very long time at level 5, but of course there's levels 1 through 5, and they all increase the break chance and the resistance to explosion by different levels. So go ahead and throw persistence on there if you're afraid of people breaking the chest to get to it. But I don't think anything makes it completely unbreakable. I just think it takes a lot longer. Okay, and then the final one I just want to tell you guys about is this guy down here, Trigger. Now there's only really one level of Trigger. It's Trigger 1. You won't get anything better than that, but what that does is it makes the chest emit a redstone signal whenever a player tries to open, break, or unlock it unsuccessfully. So if you had Trigger on there and the player tried to break the chest or tried to open the chest and they didn't have the right key on it, it would go ahead and emit a redstone signal. And that, guys, is the lock and key system that comes with these chests. It's really pretty neat. I could have a lot of fun on a PvP server where you're trying to sneak into people's bases and steal their stuff. They might want to put locks on their good stuff or on their chests, and they might want to go ahead and use the keys to get into them. And then you could have a lot of fun with the enchants. You can go ahead and pick those locks, get into those chests, and steal some stuff. Dude, it would be a lot of fun. You can copy keys so that your friends can have a copy of the key, and you can let whoever you want into the chest, but not let your enemies in. Oh, that is cool. So this wraps up the spotlight on BetterStorage. Hope you guys enjoyed checking out BetterStorage by Copyboy. It is a really neat mod. You can see it's just getting started. I want to say the version is like 0.5. So he's got some more work to do on it. He's got a lot of cool stuff planned. Just taking a peek at his forum thread here, I can see he's got wearable backpack and cardboard boxes, which will be used to manually move a bunch of items to a new location. He has all kinds of other stuff in planned. He's got display cases, full metal and gem chests, all kinds of neat stuff, and even vaults that can store a large number of individual items. So yeah, the BetterStorage mod, definitely worth checking out. Has some neat features. Like I said, I think the one I thought was most innovative and interesting was the lock and key, especially the concept of being able to enchant them. I think that's just such a cool concept, being able to enchant them with different levels, making them more and less resistant to picking and sneaking and breaking into the chests. So, Direwolf20 signing off on this spotlight of the BetterStorage mod. Hope you guys enjoyed checking it out, and as always, take it easy.